day 3 is, I've named it Own Your Future, because that's really the purpose of this. Like, the purpose of going to a retreat like this, yes, it's to rest, it's to recharge, it's to pause so that you can go into your future and show up how you know you're capable of showing up. Be the woman that you know you're capable of being inside. Like, I think every woman has had a moment where they've seen someone and they're like, I wish I could be like her. You see someone more confident, or you perceive someone as more confident than you. You think that they've got it made, and you don't realize, like, you can be that too. And we really get into that on day 3 of planning. Who do you want to be? Like, how do you want to show up? And if you don't know who you want to be, how are you supposed to show up as her? So we get into visualizations. We get into stripping away the things that have held you back. We help you get like kind of a roadmap to that path. It gets real that day.
Yeah.
Really real. Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, day 3 was my favorite.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. Like, day 3 was instrumental for me because another thing, I went into this retreat feeling very lost. You know, I was juggling working full-time career while also, like, I paused my side business, which is what I loved, but I also got paid over here. So when I went into the retreat, I was feeling very lost on the direction of where I was going, which for me and everybody who knows me, that is uncommon. I am used to having everything figured out. I've got my 1-year roadmap. I've got my 3, 5, 10, like, my life had been planned. And I was in a space, and also what called me to join was like, I had no clarity. I was very lost. I was very disconnected. And that was really uncomfortable for me because I was in this unknown space. So in these exercises, day 1, laying the foundation, day 2, digging deep, and then day 3 was like creating. I had a lot of aha moments of what do I want? And I got so much clarity in the direction of my life and what I wanted and how I was going to take action on that day. Like, it gives me goosebumps. Like, it was so powerful for me. I like feel like I could cry about it. Like, it gave me the clarity that I needed to make massive shifts in my life. And like, we've talked about this before. I made a huge jump after I left that retreat and ended up leaving my corporate career. You know, I had to be present with my son. I got time back with my children that I never thought I wanted, but it gave me this beautiful perspective that gave me the confidence to do the scary thing. And that was massive. And like, you can't get that anywhere else. Like, I literally could be emotional about this, but like, if it wasn't for the retreat, I don't know if I would still be in a space where I was lost or doing things that weren't serving me or being in careers that weren't making me happy. That retreat gave me the confidence to make the big scary jump, which ended up being the best decision that I ever could have made. So when we talk about day 3, like, yeah, it was extremely powerful. Another thing I wanted to mention to you that I haven't told you yet is, so one of the exercises we did was a visualization, right? This is a key part of like, where do you see yourself? What does your future self look like? And a lot of times when we do these exercises, it's that future, that 5-year version of you. And when we shared after, one of my aha moments after that experience was, this is soon. Like, I feel what I saw as my future self, which was not in a career. Like, I was not working in my full-time corporate job. I will tell you what I saw. So I saw, I'm going to cry. I saw myself dancing around my kitchen with my kids, and I was making breakfast, and I felt so free, and I had no pressure, and I was not lost, and I was clear, and I was so happy. And I remember like going into the morning, and I was making breakfast, and I was just dancing around, and then like the kids got up, and we were all like dancing and having so much fun. And then I walk in my office. I knew exactly what my office setup was, and it was different than it looked right then in the moment that I was having this. And then I remember like, you know, going through my day of my career. I'm like, Sherry, I haven't told you this, but like, it was probably 5, maybe 6 weeks after the retreat, I made the decision. I quit the job, and that moment came true. And I remember cooking breakfast, and like my kids were sitting there, and I was like dancing around the kitchen, and my kids get up and we're playing music and we're dancing. And I was like, holy shit, this was the visualization that I had at the retreat of my future self. Like, I meant to text you and tell you that, but I was also like, I really want to tell you this in person because it was like such a special moment. So like, yeah, day 3 hit me really hard because it also forced me to do the work. And like, I said this to you before, is like, coming into this experience, I'm all things personal development. I'm a coach. I help women do a lot of these things. And like, I also take the time to reflect and journal and like put myself through the deep work. But the timing for me of like being in that space where I felt lost and disconnected, but also the way that you helped me navigate my own things. Like, I cry once a year going into this retreat, and I think I cried like 15 times. Like, I think I left with all this tears like out of my body, but in the most beautiful way. It was not like sad. It was I was transforming in that, and like seeing myself who I was walking in. I mean, I was even late to the retreat because I had a work trip in Nashville, got off the plane, drove there, like full hustle mode. Walked in the retreat, and the person I was like driving home was completely different because of how you helped guide me. And the way that you helped me like work through things that I had like put a block and wasn't dealing with. I knew the block was there, but I didn't know how to break it down because I'm always the one helping other people. So the way that you structured it and like building the foundation and like digging deep and again, like creating, I left that retreat a more radiant person, a more confident person. And I was like ready to take action. And the incredible part is I did. I wasn't one that like goes to these retreats and is like, cool, that was awesome. I got all this awesome information, like a conference. And then a week later, you're all back into the hustle. It was like, no, I saw that visualization and what you taught me in day 3 tasted so good. That's what it was. It was like, I want that and I'm an action taker, so I'm going to fucking do it. So I think that was huge for me for day 3 was like, you created this space where we could have fun and we could design and we could build and you gave us the power to make the choices. So that was like a really long answer to day 3, but
that
like,
was like the best answer.
it was like
oh
super emotional for me. And I was like, I have to tell Sherry that like it happened. Like it became true. I know I was struggling with like, do I leave my corporate career? What do I do? I'm so torn. And I got so much clarity in the exercises that you've done, which we'll keep secret, is I mean, I knew when I got home, it was like, this is what I have to do because I want that future version. I want her. Like she's living this like badass life, like with freedom. And yeah, I was still working, but my work was intentional. It was aligned with like who I am and what I wanted to do. So having those like exercises to figure out like, A, who is she?
Yeah.
B, girl, you're already her. And C is like, okay, let's make this happen. What are the steps that you can take to leave here and take action?